Right, folks, it's the Friday. It's January 17th, and it is 2020. And I've been doing these newspaper reviews again, and they seem to be going down quite popular, quite well. So I thought I'd do another one. The weather's wet. There's nothing more you can say. The weather's just horrible in it at the moment. So I thought I just popped up to the local co-op, got a couple of pints of milk and the Daily Star. So I'm going to review the Daily Star. Me and Ginger going out in a bit. And go from there. Right, folks, then Theo's knicker hits skids. Don't like the way they've played with skid marks and your knickers and all that kind of thing. Very clever there, the Daily Star. Dragon Den Star, Theo Papa hit it. Right, it says here, Pap hit is. Pap it is? Is that what it is? Papa hit is? Lingerie firm is in crisis talks because landlords want the spiralling rents and the most challenging retail environment ever, according to the Telly Businessman. Let's go to channel 4, page 4. Right. What? Full story, P4. Oh, that's it. There's a picture of a woman in lingerie. Dragon Star, Theo Pap Hit is urging landlords to cut rent at his struggling lingerie stores. Despite Telly's Megan McKenna, 27, modelling its range, Boo Avenue suffered double-digit sales decline. Theo blamed costs and the most challenging retail environment ever. The 60-year-old is in talks with landlords after claiming Boo paid, I think Boo, is it Boo? B-O-U-X, significantly above average rents. Well, I'm sorry, Theo. Well, I'm not sorry, I am sorry, but surely you should have kept your eye on the rents. If the rents were being put up, I don't know enough of it, but if the rents were being put up, you should have said, I'm going to another shop. I don't know. This does not tally with the overall experience we have had with other businesses overseas. It's just greedy landlords, I would have thought. There's a lot of places out there, and they're just putting the rent up, and they just seem to think that these companies can do it. They probably know that Theo owns the business and think, right, well, we'll put that up because he's a millionaire. But sometimes these companies will just turn a bloke, even if he is a millionaire, he cannot afford losing money, and he will just shut the thing down. And then the landlords won't make any rent, because if Theo can't pay the rent, why are other companies going to pay the rent? You know, it's just downright greediness of the landlords. A cat lover has won a 20,000 court battle to ban a neighbour from feeding her beloved pet. Jackie Hall, top left, there's Jackie down there on the paper. And husband John sued Nicola Lesberil. Why can't you just have names like Smith or Jones? Top right, after fitting their moggy Ozzy with a GPS tracker, the couple grew concerned when they found Ozzy left, spent time at Ms. Lesbiril's home in nearby Hammersmith, West London. The legal fees totaled more than £20,000. If your cat's being fed by somebody else, unless it's got a special diet requirement, let them do it. Pays for it, don't it? It's truth. Audio maker Boss has announced plans to close all of its 119 stores across the UK, Europe, North America, Japan and Australia. The firm said the move was prompted by a dramatic shift in online shopping. Online shopping is the way it's going. I'm sorry, folks. It's just that, you know, for us to go and buy something now from Leicester, you'd have to drive into Leicester, you go into high cost, you pay a fortune in parking, then you've got to deal with all the people that are around you. You know, there are some idiots out there, and it's just an unpleasant experience. All you've got to do is you go on your tablet, you find what you want, click, and it's here. Somebody brings it to you, and you haven't got to go out. I know it's wrong, and I know it's costing jobs, but you know, the cost of parking in the High Cross in Leicester at the moment is just absolutely ridiculous. It's like £3.50 for a half hour or something. It's just robbing you fucking blind. Right, US TV host has apologised to the Joker star Joaquin Phoenix after mocking the scar on his upper lip. Wendy Williams said she found the Oscar nominee, who had a cleft palate at birth oddly attractive on her show. She hooked a finger up on a lip to imitate the birth defect, which occurs when part of the baby's face does not join together properly during development in the womb. Williams, 55, was slammed as hideous and offensive before saying sorry to the cleft. I don't particularly want to copy her, but she got a fit and she lifted a fit. And I've actually put something on Twitter about this. And, you know, this woman is 55. Apparently she's one of the big bloody chat hosts in America. And, you know, she really ought to look at herself because, you know, if a child is born with a cleft palate and it needs and the child needs operation after operation to correct it, I think until you're about 20 or so, the actual problem isn't solved. I don't know enough about it, I'm not going to lie, but I know that some people have had it and they had to have a couple, and by the time they were 20 then it was okay. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's hard work, this bloody thing. But what I am not doing is I am not taking the piss. And this woman, what's her name? Wendy Williams. That took a lot of thinking out, didn't it? Wendy Williams sounds like a burger place. Come down to Wendy Williams and have a burger. Anyway, she is obviously, right, this Wendy Williams, she's 55. She's trying desperately to hold back time, holding back the years, as Simply Red would say, and like she's had all Botox and eyes done and nose done, and she's got massive dorks, and they don't look right. They look enhanced, shall I say. So, you know, sweetheart, before you start having a go at somebody who was born with a cleft palate, have a look at yourself first, right? Because you're not funny. I know I am straight to the point and stuff, and I do go on, and I know some of the things I do actually say are a little bit close to the knuckle, but I do try to show a bit of respect. But this woman here, she has not. She has just tried to do this and tried to gain laughs, and the actual audience were laughing along with her. So the actual production team have completely fucked up. Whoever sat down there and says, I know, Wendy, we'll do this. This will be hilarious. People will love you for it. It's a complete balls up. And I would like to think that the TV company, I don't know, ban her for a fortnight or a month. I'm not saying that she probably intentionally meant this. And we all make mistakes. We all say things accidentally, and we don't mean to offend. But this is just downright ridiculous, and the actual company should do, the TV company should say something. And I'm not saying sack her or anything like that, because she obviously thought, you know, she'd obviously been given the okay, but it was just wrong. It's just a bad judgment of everything. It's just ridiculous. So, tributes were paid, truth, I nearly died, well, not died, but tributes were paid last night to Rocky Johnson. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, The Rock's dead, and I've missed it. But his dad's died, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the WWE Hall of Famer who died at the age of 75, was alongside Teddy Atlas, who was the first black tag team duo in the World Championship. There you go. So, sympathies to The Rock there. It's a sad day for The Rock. Noel Gallagher's planning to renovate his £8 million mansion by adding a state-of-the-art woodland gym. The former Oasis star bought the 7-bedroom mansion near Petersfield, Hants, to make it easier for his son Donovan, 12, to enrol in exclusive public school. There you go. So with that being £8 million, get ready for the reformation of Oasis getting back together, because that is going to take some fucking serious dough to run. You could probably afford an £80 million mansion, but you got to feed, you got to run it, ain't you? Ricky Gervais shared a laugh with the rugby legend Rob Burrow over the battle with the motor neurone disease. The funny man delighted the retired sports star with a tongue-in-cheek roasting of his Leeds Rhino pal Steve Ward. Steve had contacted Ricky to ask him to support a campaign for Dad of 3 Rob, who was recently diagnosed with a condition, but Ricky turned his attention. Now, this is the good thing about Ricky Gervais. I absolutely love Ricky Gervais, because he can be so offensive, but not offensive. He just brings out what he says the truth in a way that is okay. Because what he said was here, Ricky turned his attention to Steve on Twitter video, recording himself keeping up the good ideas to him, ordering him to keep his good ideas to himself. He rants to Rob, does he know how fucking busy I am? Would I call you up, mate, Steve, and say, alright Steve, would you come round for a kickabout in the back garden? come back and kick around in my back garden with a ball. I'm going to calm down, folks. Come round to my garden and run around with a bollock-shaped ball. And that's what I like about Ricky Gervais. If you get offended by Ricky Gervais, go and take a look at yourself. Right, cows apparently talk and moo to each other about food and the weather. That's nice to know. And Sandy Toksvik, she's stepping down from the co-host of the Great British Bake Off. The presenter said, "I will be, as my latest line will testify, Bake Off is consuming spent." If you think you're getting fat through fucking Bake Off, you ought to try and do food reviews. Jesus Christ. I've not ate anything today so far. What time is it? It's 5 to 12. I've not ate anything. So basically, she's knocking it on the head. Only Fools and Horses legend Sir David Jason has slammed the Beat TV bosses for cutting back on comedy. The Del Boy actor is furious. Mainstream channels are giving us fewer laughs. Last year, BBC bosses axed sitcoms Warren, never heard of it, and Scarborough, never heard of it. I've heard of Scarborough. It's a great place. We've been there many times. But never heard of it. The ITV and ITV have no comedy shows left after including hits including Birds of a Feather and Benidorm were scrapped. Thing is though, mate, these things cost money, don't they? Birds of a Feather, old. I never watched it when it came back. Benidorm, I got fed up with it after the Gervais family left. It just, and also the problem is nowadays, you can't make comedy like you used to, because you can make, I mean, absolutely fabulous, hell of a comedy, right? And all these, the comedians back in the 80s were aware of the issues and the problems of society, right? But even they nowadays can't make comedy that can be offensive because somebody finds something offensive all the while. And it's just, and I don't think it's the fact that they're scrapping it because of the cost of it. I think they're just scrapping it because it's not worth causing a headache by making a joke that some might find offensive, and then you get Ofcom getting phoned up by like 12 people out of a viewing figures of 8 million, say complaining about it. It's just a complete, that is the joke. In fact, somebody ought to do a joke about trying to write a comedy that's not, you know, that's hard to do. So that's what it is. I mean, even he's in open all hours. I bet people can find that offensive. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it is a joke. The whole comedy situation at the moment is, you just can't make anybody laugh. It's the things I would do is just, I don't know, there ought to be some kind of warning where if you don't like it, don't watch it. Ofcom, fuck off. Because Ofcom, off. Come off. Anyway, because they're just, you know, it's like people moan about people like Jim Davison and Chubby Brown, right? And who was the other one? Jethro. And rightly so, right? They have probably had their day, yeah? And they go around touring, and if people want to watch them, then fair enough. But then you get people that are going to be offended by, who's the Scottish bloke with the beard now and the glasses? Oh, fuck, come on, memory's fucking useless. Anyway, he's quite offensive, but don't watch him if you find him offensive. And then you get people that will probably find, I don't know, gimme offensive. Don't watch it. And then you'll find people who get offended by Peter Kay. Don't watch it. But if you get offended by Peter Kay, then you're going to get offended by pretty much anything. And in the end, there'll be no comedy, and it's just a complete waste of fucking time. So, the hotel where Jeremy Clarkson punched a Top Gear host, Top Gear producer, is hosting its steak night to mark the 5th anniversary. Capitalising on things that have gone wrong. Lisa Armstrong last night angrily denied she is set for a £31 million divorce payout after the collapse of her marriage to Ant McPartlin. The telly makeup branded reports of a whopping settlement, a load of nonsense. But I'll tell you what, I bet you don't end up short, sweetheart. I bet you don't. I bet you get a fair wedge. That. What I want to just say about Ant McPartlin is, Caroline Flack got the sack, right, from hitting her boyfriend, right, and rightly or wrongly so, I don't know nothing about it, but the ITV just basically dropped her. Ant McPartlin went out on the piss, smashed his Mini up, nice Mini, hit another car with a wife and a child, husband and wife and a child in it, could have caused serious injury to them. And carried on driving, went on down the road and everything, right? because Ant McPartlin makes ITV a small fortune, or rather in this case, a fucking large fortune, they stuck by him. Caroline Flack got dropped like a fucking stone. Instead of ITV turning around saying, right, we're going to support this girl and see what happens. No. So, yin and yang kind of thing there. I can understand if people have troubles and problems in their life, yes, they need a bit of help from the workforce. I know that our place, if somebody's had problems with a drinking thing, they do actually offer, because of today's life and pressures, they do offer help and all that. So why didn't they? I don't know. Perhaps ITV just, fucked if I know. But there you go. A teenager has ditched college to create comedy TikTok videos full time. Ronnie Warwick has almost 300,000 followers, and more than 10 people watched his films last month. Now the 16-year-old's been in his media course for 6 months. TikTok will be a phase, mate. You've fucked up there, son. You should have still kept your thingy. Cops probe quitter Ollie's death threat. Police are investigating death threats to Love Island quitter Ollie Williams and his family after animal rights activists. Animal rights activists. They left sinister answer phone messages venting their anger over photo showing Holly looking like a trophy hunter. The top was seen posing with the dead bodies of a warthog, water buffalo, and a giant eland. This fucked up there. In snaps used to promote his company Cornish Sporting Agency. He quit Love Island after 40,000 signature social media petition called him. How the fuck did he know about that? Anyway, well, I'm sorry, mate. And I did actually have a bit of a rant about this. And I don't apologise, because I think it's pretty fucking sick that, you know, a bloke can stand there smiling because he's killed something that's, you know, so far away. It's like, just walk up to it. Like I said, walk up to it and take it on head to head and let it fucking ram you through the fucking tree. I don't know. You shouldn't be issuing death threats and stuff and all that in this day and age, but I can understand people's anger over it. Let me just see. Have a go. Great Gran wrestles a stolen bike from a 6-foot thug who came into her antique store to sell it. Hold on, a fucking mountain bike is not an antique. Granted, he shouldn't be nicking it, but it's not an antique. It's a bric-a-brac shop or something like that. Marie Parker fought off the man before returning the £1,200 cycle to its owner. It's outside there, was it? Fair play to the old dear. Look, she's getting it a go. We need more people like that. You know, the country needs to be more. You know, people say, "Oh, I'll ignore that." I don't know what I'd do at the time, but you know, you'd probably pull a fucking knife on her. That's the problem. You just don't know what you're going to end up with nowadays. In the old days, it used to be a fair fight, but nowadays they pull out anything on you. Britain's hardest copper was just trying to stay alive when he was tasered a man. The PC Stuart Alton, 29, told a jury that the van driver Mohammed Raudwan, 56, tried to slice up my head and body with a rusty 2-foot blade. What the fuck is he doing carrying a fucking 2-foot blade? Now this is, I'm going to run out of time on this thing here. Boot camp, right? Boot camp. You get found with a blade, you get 5 years on a remote island somewhere, cleaning coal, smashing rocks. It's run by ex-prison wardens, ex-army officers, so you're giving those who are on the streets, who come back out the army, who just end up on the streets, you're giving them a job, and that's it, right? You get them up at 5 in the morning, you're cleaning coal, you're smashing rocks, you're doing anything. I could do that a bit more. I can go, if you want my ideas on punishment, I'll do a video. Gang kids take up playground game. Teenagers are being kept out of trouble by playing conkers. Conkers in this time, it's fucking January, there ain't no conkers. Youth workers have been heading out to council estates to meet youngsters, some using booze and drugs to challenge them to games. Oh, fuck's sake. British Bulldog, that'll be a good game when you get a fucking kick in. Stephen Gerrard says children should not be banned from heading footballs. The Scottish FA is ready to stop under 12s because of their heads, using their heads because of the risk of dementia. I think I've fucking got it. But I tell you what, since I've gone 50, I haven't got trouble reading, and I can't, you know. But the Rangers boss said the love of heading the ball at the age of 4, I would not take that away from children. I think what should be happening is you shouldn't head the ball until they're a certain age, but they don't go around like heading it all the fucking while. You know, the idea is the game, the closing the title, it's football. Can you imagine how somebody having a shot and you're on the touch line, on the goal line, and the ball's coming and you're not allowed to head it and you have to do that? What the fuck are you doing? You're going to head it anyway. You're going to head it, so stop making it. Professional dog walker who claims she lost 5 pooches on a walk has been charged with animal welfare offences. Louise Lawford sparked a huge hunt for the dogs after saying they'd ran off. The 40-year-old claimed the animals, dubbed the Tamworth Five, fled after a gunshot. They include taking it off. Right, there's a bloke here. Pantomime Dwarf has joined the presenting the Songs of Praise. James Lustard has climbed upon his steps to marry his 5'8" wife. Chloe says it's an honour to land the role. The 3'7" actor will be joining fellow Welsh stars and singer Aled Jones and Catherine Jenkins. It's incredible to join the BBC Songs of Praise as a presenter. I could do that. Songs of Praise. Let me do Songs of Praise. I could talk about religion, make things up. Ooh, there's a picture here of an elephant having a shit on its baby's head. There you go. A turn on its head. Unbelievable. A man accused of killing police officer Sharon Bennett. I can't say her name, and I don't like it when I can't say the names. Allegedly faked his own death. Paran Ditta Khan returned to his homeland in Pakistan after her murder when she became a property mogul. PC Beshev-Ekimsky, sorry, I do apologise. 38 shot dead, attending a robbery in Bradford, West Yorkshire in 2005. 6 men have been jailed for the connection with the case, but Khan, 71, has now been arrested and is being held in custody in Islamabad, where he's facing extradition proceedings. Last night he claimed that Pakistan or Khan or someone in his family faked his death. Hopefully they've got him, and hopefully they'll get him here, and hopefully he'll be locked up for the rest of his natural. Save our fry-ups. Starman takes on the Great British Breakfast. Defiant cafe owners have backed our calls to save the Great British Fry-Up. Yesterday we revealed how the breakfast favourite could disappear as millions of young adults shun the dish. I love a good fry-up. In fact, somebody asked me to do a fry-up because they reported that Americans don't know how to do a good old British English breakfast. British English? Good old English breakfast. So the British breakfast, that's it, I got there in the end. So I might actually do that and make it out for the Americans, because I have seen some pictures of theirs and they haven't got a fucking clue. They put cress on it or something, or the fucking hell, or a vegetable. You don't have a fry up with bloody, I mean, alright, you have a tomato on it, but unbelievable. And so that's that. There's a Welsh speakers are fuming after it emerged TripAdvisor does not recognise their language. The problem was discovered by Sion Meredith when Sion, or is it Sion? I don't know. When she tried to leave a glowing write-up in his native tongue after a delicious meal out. He reviewed the review was immediately rejected after being gibberish, and for the website posted a response for him in Swedish. Well, what you do, mate, is you get yourself a camera and you do a write-up. You do a YouTube and stick it on there. And before you know it, this is it. Get fit with your dog. Mutt Boot Camp. Win a canine activity tracker. Healthy snacks. Winning running books. There you go. No, fuck that. The Bling Sting. Don't know what that's all about. Right, what am I on? 23 minutes. Doctor Who. Last week's episode of... Oh God, what they're doing with Doctor Who now? They're making it into a fucking history lesson. I'm fed up with it. Just get the Daleks and Cybermen and all that. Just do it. Just do what Doctor Who does. Right. So let's have a look. Oh, Just Jane. Let's go through this. It was a mistake to wed. I regret marrying my wife and feel I've made a huge mistake. We only got wed last August, but I'm already lusting after another woman. I've become obsessed with this new colleague and she's all I think about, especially when I'm having sex with my wife. I never have a proper conversation with the heavenly creature, but I can feel in my bones that no one else will do. Even if she doesn't want me, I know I can't carry on living a lie. The wife is a nice enough woman, but I can't pretend to lie. Well, I think what you're doing there, mate, is just being a fucking idiot. To actually be with somebody since August and then married to them and then want to get rid, that's just a complete fucking joke. I'll tell you what, if I were you, I'd go and tell your wife, and I think she'll be a lot better off knowing this, and then she can kick you out, have the house and all that, and then you can fuck off. My friend is being scammed by an online boyfriend, but she won't hear a word against him. I've told her repeatedly that she should not send any more cash to his account. I don't care how sick his mother is or how many vans he needs for his struggling business. His woes are not her problem, but she's not taking it at all. She's the most generous, trusting person I know, and it breaks my heart. So this is. I wonder if you could actually get in touch with the police about this, because this is some kind of obviously it's a scam. Her brother and I have both told her that her boyfriend don't exist, and that the photograph she owns is probably a fake. Do you know what? It would be good if you could actually find out where he lives and then just go there and see him. Take her there and let's meet him. That might be a good idea. Instead of spending money, say, look, all right, and let's go and see him if he's real. Let's spend your money. Instead of sending it out to him, why don't we take it out to him and let's see him and then go from there. Diet is driving me mad. My girlfriend has changed her diet. She no longer eats meat, fish or dairy and won't allow any form of fast food in the house. That's all very well, but she'd never consulted me. Yeah, mate, get rid. It's a two-way thing. You can't enforce your beliefs on somebody else just because you're living with him. Get fucking rid. My boyfriend wants out of our relationship. He says he feels trapped, even though I give him every freedom. He comes and goes as he pleases and sees other women whenever he fancies. I don't make any rules. I think you're just being a fucking doormat. Knob wrote on your head there, sweetheart. Do people really get in that situation where they can't, you know, they just accept what somebody does? He is actually trying to get rid of you, but he hasn't got the balls to do it. So I think you should do it for him. Or what you could do is go and get somebody else. Go and bounce around on somebody else's love stick and let him catch you and see how much he likes it. Right. Well, I've got 3.5 minutes. Ollie McBurney has been warned about his behaviour and his fashion sense. I've seen this in the paper the other day. Ollie is a Swansea fan, I think. And Swansea fan, he went and said, well, Sheffield weren't playing, he went to see Swansea play with his mates. And he was having a good time. He did a few naughty gestures, but that's what football fans do. Even though he is a footballer, that is a, you know, you can't just stand there with all your mates, your 20 mates doing all the signs, and that, you get caught up in it. Yeah, it's not professional, but he hasn't done anything wrong as such. I think he got done for drink driving before Christmas. Don't quote me on that. But you know, he's out and about having a laugh with his mates, and he weren't fighting. He weren't doing anything. I mean, and it weren't like, you know, some football fans. It just, you know, just let him get on with it. Let him have a bit of fun. It's just a bit of time out. Anything else? Nigel Pearson. He's doing well there at Watford. They have a zit out at Watford, wasted FA Cup journey to Tranmere. Oh dear, they've gone all the way up to Tranmere and the game's been called off. Oh dear, that's not very good. But look at it this way, you could go up there, have a bit of time in Blackpool, get pissed, go up the tower and then come back. Carlo Ancelotti admits his dream transformation transform Everton into a great entertainers won't happen overnight. I don't think it'll happen over a fucking couple of years, mate. Everton need a lot of work doing, so let's see how good you are, Mr. Ancelotti. Let's have a look. Top surgeon thinks Kane will miss Euro 2020. I don't think, right, and I know a lot of people are going to go against me on this, but I don't think that's a bad idea, because we were talking about it on the kickoff, and Brian was saying how the England team has to adapt for Kane, where now if Kane's not playing, they will be more free to play how they want to play. With Ings up front and Rashford probably going on over there. You've got all these other players, exciting young players with pace, where Kane is, you know, he is very one-dimensional just now. I think also that, and I don't want to upset Spurs fans here, but I think Kane's ready for a move. I think he's just complacent. He just knows he's going to get picked for Spurs all the while. They could get like 120 million for him at Real Madrid. You could get some decent players for that and build to the squad. So there you go. So there you have it, folks. A bit of a rush in the end there because I was going on too much at the beginning. I hope you've enjoyed that Daily Star review, and I'll do one again. Leave the comments if you enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, let me know, because if nobody enjoys them, there's no point in me fucking doing them, is there? All right, folks. Laters.